catches Alanu! That is huge! They've amped out the embers of Beyond's offensive core. Let's hope they get enough damage to back it up. Meredith Bookstone will not be denied. Ripped out. Ian swept away. Paranoid to the sky with a double. Holy crap! Break the curse! Rampage there for Sifu. He is time for them after 4 long seasons of setbacks and second places. The Oscar goes to Book and the Bad News Bears. They will take Glacier Final.
Trying to go on me. Terrific.
Economy ult on me. Economy ult on me.
Naja ult on me. Take this fight, boys. We win it.
Yeah.
Don't let them back. Don't let them back.
I'm just certain.
All right, boys. Let's become champions. Run this shit down. Isn't on me? Isn't on me? She's here. She's here. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Titan. Still ult.
Get her.
Go straight to Titan. That's your ult down.
Titan, go Titan. Go Titan. That's game, boys.
That's game.
Marshall
You gotta take this. You gotta take this.
National
Let's fucking go.
champions.
Let's fucking go. Shred it. Shred it. Shred it. Get us out of this game. Now let's go big. G fucking shit, boys.
Here we go, boys.
Let's fucking go.
That's 10-0. He's half. Come back.
Nice.
10 seconds. I'm up in 9.
Nice.
Good damage.
Be careful, just let me. Cool. Run.
Nice.
Dude, get the fuck out of here, dude. Neat. After watching that video, the only thing I'm gonna say is, why can't ADCs do that anymore, man? Why can't ADCs
very true.
kill a tank, man? Because
it's okay.
We're just in an abysmal state right now. You know, we don't get to play the game.
Maybe next patch you'll have like more fun. You know, with Abyssal Stone being the game.
Oh man,
you know it's gonna be great, man.
It's gonna be so
Kuba
great.
Karna's gonna be viable.
Oh yeah,
I know you're excited to play against that.
What could possibly go wrong? Welcome in everyone to the Warriors of Albion Greenroom podcast. I am once again Spirited Book, joined here by my lovely co-host. It's Hydra. How's it going, Hydra?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. You know, after hitting my like 800% increase of rank queues this week, which is like 8 games.
What?
Dude, like
800%.
Yeah, dude. Like I've been hitting so many more rank queues lately, dude.
Damn.
And you know, it seems like the podcast is having a great effect on the general Smite audience. You know, because you guys out there in the queues, you guys see like the names, and you're like, oh, like you should talk about this on your podcast, and
I
be like,
saw that
their brains out.
Oh, let me see.
So funny, bro.
Let me see if I can find that and we can show it real quick. That was too funny because I was like just scrolling Twitter one day, and then you rarely pop up on my feed, but when you do, you have.
It's always bangers. Man.
It's always bangers. I just had it a second ago. Here we go.
Heck yeah.
Here's your Twitter.
Yeah, no.
Gotta be careful what we show on Twitter.
Oh, exactly. Because Twitter's a dangerous site, you know.
It is, man.
But
here we go.
But you know, I mean. So to the person that was, smurfing in a ranked game, congrats, you got your shout out on the podcast. You've made it. So.
There we go. There it is. Gank, if like men.
If like men.
What an interesting name, I gotta tell you, man.
Banger smurfing.
Yeah.
Just okay. Yeah.
Also, shout outs to Caden Shamble for saying copium in response.
Oh yeah. That's the Zenith in Crete. He's kind of running the Crete.
That guy. Yeah, that guy who kind of stinks. Damn.
Nah, he's cooking, man. His team's winning a lot. So
sure, man. Anyways, what's been going on this week? Well, we had a patch. We did have a patch. Well, it hasn't got through. It's going through tomorrow. Which, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's out today.
Yeah, it should be live. Should be live right now.
And it doesn't look bad. I still think it just doesn't address a lot of the issues, which is that hybrid items are just so broken right now, and that tanks are just so powerful. ADCs don't get to play the game, and sometimes mid laners don't either. Like, it really is just whoever dives better right now.
I think this patch had a lot of really good targeted nerfs to some characters, some really interesting buffs to some characters and some items and stuff like that. But like, I mean, overall, is it going to really change? The overall meta, maybe not. I mean, maybe like I think there's a couple items that are going to be like built like that.
Yeah, I mean, we could show it here. Like, there's a couple significant changes. Like, I think Dawnbringer getting this change, I think, will be big for it. I think it's always been an item that's kind of been on the cusp of being meta,
right?
But like never really in the limelight.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's going to be like built now at all because like it has rush stats.
Yeah.
But then, like its passive makes it want to be like a last item to like cap off a build with. So I think maybe if they just do like a small stat shift to it, maybe give it a little bit more prots on its own because like it doesn't have any protections right now. I don't think. But I don't know. I think it's slowly getting better. It's gonna get to that point where they've buffed it so much it's gonna be insane.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. It's so funny to me that Cannoneers, despite receiving so many buffs, it still just isn't as good as everyone thought it would be. Like it received so many buffs, and it still is. People are still going Gauntlet of Thebes.
Yeah, it's actually wild. Like people will like try out new items for like a while just to get off the Thebes kick, and they're like, oh, like this is actually viable. It is very, very good. But everyone's like, Thebes is just so stat efficient. It's just so hard to beat it. So I know a lot of sports are going back to Thebes for that reason.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I was there the whole time. I heard all of that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. But Heartward gets a cool small buff. I don't think this is gonna like make or break the item in like Conquest, but like for modes that are like Assault and stuff like that, where you're seeing it a lot more anyway. Whoo, it's gonna be crazy.
I mean, I do think we are moving towards more of an aura-centric support build yet again, so I wouldn't mind. I quite like this buff, so I think we probably will see more a little more.
Yeah, I think we're seeing more backline supports coming back now.
Thank God.
Like, yeah, first of all, that's like my favorite like kind of support style anyway. Like we're seeing picks like Kepri get picked up a ton now, which is I think hilarious because that character is super, super good. I've been praising that character. I've been saying he's been super good for a while. It's just that people want to play that dive style, and I think that style is still completely viable. I still think it works really, really well, and characters like Bacchus and Cerberus are still very, very good at doing it. But I mean, they're like Ganesha, Kumbhakarna. After this patch is going to be nuts. Capri, I think is still very, very good. So I think you can play either style right now for sure. But hey, King Arthur mains cry because Curse Weaver got a buff.
Yeah, Curse Weaver receiving a significant buff to the max health and mana damage from 5 to 7.5. I feel like that's pretty significant. I mean, a lot of mage items in general, I think, are getting major buffs. Like Coin with this weird passive that existed is getting a major buff. I mean, the fact that you got one extra bit of gold per kill was so weird to me. I'm like, surely this is just such an odd thing to do. So I'm glad they've actually like made it an actual thing. The power on Rod is like dummy strong now. There's a world you go that like third item now.
You definitely could. You definitely could. Some
reverts to Equinox, a lovely change to Gaia, which I think was needed. Erosion getting buffs, which I think is huge.
Love that.
Archmages with massive buffs. This will probably be bought almost every game.
I think Nuwa would love it, but maybe other mages maybe not, but Nuwa definitely.
This is the one that this isn't the one that gives you movement speed, is it? It's the other one that you.
It's not. It's the other one.
The one that keeps stacking.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this one would be good. Yeah. Maybe not Nuwa because it actually only procs on one person that you're ulting.
Yeah.
Which is nice. You get a bit of extra damage on someone, but yeah. This is decent. This is weird. I don't know why this is the problem with this item being touched, Crimson Claws, is, and we'll scroll for a bit. Oh, I think it's actually further up. We also buffed Devos in the process, which is nice. Devos is terrible right now, so thankfully it'll probably be good next patch. And then we nerfed Aussie. So in the process, we're buffing and changing one lifesteal item. So we're buffing Devos with a cost reduction. We're nerfing Aussie, and we're buffing Claw. Yeah, I mean less power, but more lifesteal and more cheaper. So I mean, like this is a weird instance for lifesteal on hunters.
The only thing is like in the niche that this item even fits in, like you want to get like this cool shield to, before you go into a fight, and like maybe even in lane phase because you want to be building it first. I assume. Erosion just got buffed.
Yeah, that too. That's yeah.
Unfortunately, like one of its better counter items is actually still like very statistically viable to rush on support.
Yeah.
So like if you are getting it first in lane, the support just hangs around you and makes your first item not feel good. So unlucky.
I think Devos will probably be back in the meta next patch, but
I think you can see Devos more for sure.
yeah. And then like Pythag's getting buffs, Bancroft's getting buffs.
Yeah.
This
Pridwin buff.
yeah, Pridwin buffs, whatever. I think that's stupid, by the way, because shielding is this item is already so good.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand this, man. Like Xe is already in such a precarious spot that like basically you have to must buy Xe now. Like I don't understand this change. This I think is nice because this Deathbringer was already being under purchased, and so
I like it. I really like it already. And with Fail not being available on like you know assassins and stuff, you know, Fail not obviously in the jungle with Deathbringer, like I think Mercury could have a very nice showing.
Yeah, I agree. E-Shell nerfs, I think that's fine. Like basically all the characters you thought were pretty good right now were getting nerfed.
Yeah, they're getting touched.
Including King Arthur, which is, well, I don't know. King Arthur's is odd because he's getting the HP 5 removed off his passive, but increased cooldown to some of his abilities. So
yeah, but you max his abilities anyway, and it decreases to what it was if you max it. So like they're not gutting the character.
Oh no, they increase the cooldowns. Never mind. This is a nerf. This is directly a nerf.
Yeah,
I misread this.
Yeah.
They're gutting Mulan. They're gutting Medusa. I wish they would gut Nuwa.
Woohoo.
They've killed Freya again for the 100th time. I don't know. I don't understand this because Freya was already terrible, but
control up for Cthulhu. Yeah, all the characters you thought were good again nerfed. Yeah,
this is horrible. Like this is like they killed her kit like straight up right here.
So here's the thing too, like I mean, and we talked about it a little bit last week that you know I'm already kind of believing that like Freya's kind of a bait pick.
Yeah.
And
we'll get to that.
I mean, after like, I mean, we'll talk about it, more later. But like, after like, I think this is 2 weeks now in a row where like I've seen the character like kind of underperform. And like, she does have some crazy games, but it's because like she has a design with her like in mind maybe, and then like she's getting picked like not top,
Yeah. But, she's just a decent snowbally character. Like if you get ahead of
if she snowballs, she really snowballs.
No one can stop you, and like you're just unkillable. You can one shot someone. Like it's dumb, but like I don't know, man. Chunga receiving nerfs finally after how long she's been top picked up in, and then my favorite change of the entire
the Jing way.
These are huge buffs. By
these are really good.
Like these are
really good buffs.
These are not touching on some of the worst parts of her kit, which is like her 2 having crit built in, her ult being so much like cooldown. She's just incredibly safe. No, this is touching on her damage, which I think needed to be worked on. Just even this first change of like increased attack speed per level from 1.4 to 1.6.
Yeah, it's nice.
Is significant. Really because she's a character that has a conditional attack speed steroid in her 1, and that condition is you have to knock yourself up. Well, you don't want to be seeing yourself in the late game. So buffing her attack speed going into late game, it's not like a steroid, so to speak, but I quite like this change to like help her out in the late game. The
I was talking about this change to some other people too. Yeah. And then, like they were like, this really buffs her for people that play her aggressively.
Yes.
Like the people that like play her like really defensively on the back foot are not going to notice a big change. But for people that are like, aggressively like dashing in with the steroid and like ulting into team fights and then putting the tornado down and stuff like they're going to really feel these changes.
Yep.
So I'm a big fan of them for sure.
Yep. Explosive bolts getting a cooldown change, which I think is pretty good because you already are maxing this ability and you're kind of just maxing it for the crit damage, and that feels kind of bad right now. So getting some actual like CDR in this too is quite nice. Pair this with the Deathbringer, the cooldown Deathbringer. You could probably get like those 3 shots off and then instantly get the next round. Because you can pop the 2, get them charged, wait, get it ready to go, fire 3 shots, pop the 2 again, fire another 3 shots. There is a world you could just infinite 2 with the malicious Deathbringer. That'll be interesting.
Actually, wait a minute.
Yeah,
because if you build enough CDR, because you can get like Fail Not and then build with her, and it's not a bad item. If you want to, like, I don't know, man.
You need it though. I don't think you need it though.
I don't think you need it either. But like with her base crit chance and Deathbringer and Fail Not, surely you crit like every auto with your 2 up, right?
Oh, probably, yeah. Agility getting some cooldown adjustments, which I quite like, making her more safe off the 3. Also, more power behind her 3, which I think is quite nice. Specifically the air power where you knock yourself up and then dash in. So yeah, just once again pushing for more aggressive Jingwei playstyle, which I like. And then the increased buff duration from 4 to 5, and then increased damage scaling from 100% to 110%, which I quite like on the ultimate.
For sure. And then here comes my section of the passionates. Oh
my god, dude.
Kumba Karna changes, man. This character is actually like, he's infamously my least favorite guardian in the game. He's a viewer point reward in my channel for people to make me play him. He's notoriously very, very disliked with me.
I can't imagine why, man.
Changes.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah, he's a very honk shoe character, no pun intended.
He's a very much honk shoe character.
Yeah, but like now he has cleave autos. He gets HP 5 when his death passive is like consumed and down. He has great mana cost, decent cooldowns now. Mez does damage, but what that really does is it procs item effects like Abyssal Stone that just got buffed. That's gonna be nuts. The root is no longer affected by DR, which is huge. So it's always going to be 1.5 seconds instead of it being 2 seconds going down to like 0.5 seconds, 0.3 seconds sometimes. Yeah, which is very easy to have happen.
That was pretty brutal. That was definitely the worst part of Kumakarna was you can't get a solid combo of abilities off because you're just forced DRing someone like on cooldown.
Yeah. And then like Mez, like the Mez duration got buffed. Like it got nerfed in the late game from 3 seconds to 2.5. Still affected by DR, by the way, but it got buffed in the early game from being 1 second to 1.5 seconds. That's a really long mez now at level 1 for like no investment in it. So like, whew, and mana cost on it doesn't go up anymore either. So like this character's gonna be a lot more annoying, I think. He's still like he's currently annoying, but now he's gonna be viably annoying. Yeah. So I'm excited to see. Well, I'm not excited to see him get played all the time for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he does in scrims. Maui, some lovely quality of life changes, I think. I mean, they kind of gutted Maui after that world championship, and then we haven't really seen him since. Back in season 9.
The ult just feels bad. like if you cast that ultimate and you don't get a big return on it every single fight, you should have locked in a different character. And it feels really like bad to just use it because like, it's really easy to dodge. Like characters are getting played right now are really, really good into it. Medusa can walk out of it because she's just base faster than its casting time. Obviously Jingwei is like decent right now. She can just dash home if she gets hit by it, stuff like that. But like characters like Terra are knock up immune and stuff like that.
But this is why I like that they're buffing a lot of his other like kit. Like they're buffing the 2 quite significantly. They're buffing the 1. They're buffing the 3.
Yeah. The 2 is a really good movement speed buff. In the 16% is nothing to
16%. So. And then pair that with a bracer as well. And then
bracer or even like War Banner. Like even the passive War Banner stacking with this really, really like that's substantial for sure. So
Baki Kajira.
Bad character.
Yeah, but like he's getting some decent buffs. I think he might be viable in solo again potentially. We'll see.
Yeah, the 2's damage is a revert from his last nerf, so like that's already really good. The Rough Waters decreasing cooldown, like you're maxing that first anyway, so like awesome. And the stun duration on its 3 is actually pretty like once it gets maxed, it's actually a pretty like substantial feeling stun. So woohoo.
And then some Goobus buffs, which we always love Goobus buffs. These are decently significant. Sorrow, I think, is his passive.
It is.
And then just a buff to the 1, the 2, and then obviously his base health and per level like health increase or whatever. These are decent. I don't think they're gonna make him that good just yet, but they make him better. I think Hell is going to be potentially broken next patch. We will see.
Really?
Increased mana per level, because I mean they're kind of getting rid of her biggest issue, which is early game, her inability to free cast. And I think if you're getting rid of all these like issues, like decreased mana cost, increased damage scaling, like she already hits pretty hard, and then increased self moon speed and allied moon speed, I think will be quite significant as well. Especially because I do feel like we are leaning to more of a backline peel oriented game. I think we are maybe gonna be looking at some Hell supports, maybe some Hell mids. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Okay, I see that.
Hui, no one cares about Hui. I'm gonna be honest. The cooldown change on the 1 I think is nice. But outside of that, I don't really. The rest is whatever. These are huge changes to Humbots. I think he's gonna be quite good next patch.
Swagga stocks up all day.
Increased base
attack are insane.
Damage increases from like infused strike is that his passive?
It's his passive. It's like the mini Hydra's proc that he gets.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's just like after you cast an ability, you just get basically a free Hydra's proc. So it's now more in line with just having a Hydra's proc at this point, which is actually really good. And then he just gets, range buffs. So
Let me
Sacred
ask-
Monkey having range buffs are insane.
Yeah, you talk about Pele here real quick because I actually have to ask my team if they want to scrim tonight real quick.
Oh, valid. Got you. Yeah, well, Pele, she gets the increased power going from 1.5 to 2 per level. This is a nerf they did a while ago that kind of hurt her a lot. The duration goes from 6 seconds to, and the CDR of it goes down from 30 seconds to 20 seconds, which is just like when she gets low, she gets a bunch of like free stats. She gets stat soup, basically. So now she's going to be really like, I think really, really good on like the dive. I think, with the some changes that we got to the red tiki that she might want to pick up now. She'll be sustaining a lot more in team fights. She won't just instantly get phased out of a team fight if she like hard dives. And her 2 gets bonus damage, which just helps her 100 to 0 people a little bit easier. So like just overall, just good Pele changes. I think she was hurting a ton in the meta anyway. So, we always like to see changes like this come through.
Yep.
Boop.
Yep. I think she'll be quite good. I think it should be quite good. All right. The call
I'm a fan of Pele.
The push has been made. Baka buffs, I think, will make him quite good. Uller buffs, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to land because a lot of his items are kind of scuffed.
Yeah, Trans is like dog meat right now, and it's like one of his favorite items to ever build.
Yeah.
But I think with buffing him here, I think that he can maybe full clear lane, maybe a level earlier, which is a pretty big deal. So if you're an Uller player, try him out. Let us know how he feels because he might be really good. So
yeah,
and it's just like base damage on his. Yeah, no, you're good. It's just like base damage on his 1, which is increasing, and the scaling goes up by 5%. And scaling on his 3 also goes up by 5%, and base mana cost goes down as well. So he's gonna run a lot less in lane, which is gonna be really, really good. And then we get to the unfun buffs. Vimana.
SDF stocks up, man. He is
simply
happy about these Vom buffs.
Bean Soup Bobbert stocks up as well. Just the Vimana enjoyers of the world. Love to see that.
This is some skull stocks up for the disco buffs. Increased projectile speed, like that's really cool.
But the 3 change though, listen, takes cooldown off of her ultimate while she's in our cloud. We love that. I think that's a really interesting change to her. I think that's going to make her pretty fun for some people to play.
Yeah.
Just do that spam style of gameplay they really like to do. And then we have Hades.
Range and Hades. Decreased cooldown. I mean, these are interesting buffs. I think the biggest one is probably the Pillar of Agni, the increased damage scaling per tick, 30%
His biggest
to
issue,
35.
he just doesn't have a good build right now, I think. Like, Bancroft's just got a buff this patch, so like maybe we'll see him come back in some way, but Pythag is also getting a buff, so maybe he'll have a decent build, but it just feels really bad to build a Hades right now into most of the other cast of characters.
Agreed. This is huge. Mark for death.
Yeah, more
penetration. Yeah. Significant
they did nerf that last time that they nerfed Kali for some reason.
And then increased power buff, and then increased damage scaling per tick. Nothing too crazy there. And then Artemis buffs, I think these are like okay. I was kind of rereading them and I'm like, they're okay. There's nothing great here.
They were really on map, which I mean, like, sure.
Yeah, like that's a weird change to me. Like that's a really weird change. It's cool, but like it's weird. And then like I think
guess,
these are the most notable ones, and maybe the 14 seconds at all ranks on the 2, because then you don't necessarily have to max the 2 then second.
Exactly. I guess you can max the 1 second for like damage or something, and does it up in duration? I think as well if you max the trap, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, but like now maybe you can max the trap second, and it feels good. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was basically patch notes. Yeah, which I mean, like they'll matter quite a bit. It's a possibility these will be the Ascension. Like this is the patch we play Ascension on. I'm not entirely certain.
That's true,
but it's leaning that direction, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And maybe week 1 of playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of Ascension, let's talk about what happened this week for Warriors of Albion. So
you want to go
bottom up,
down, or down up?
Bottom up. I want to
Okay,
start. I want to start with Crete. I want to start with Majin and the boys. I actually don't know how they did this week, so I gotta look it up real quick.
Ooh, I know. I gotta see if their set was spectated, because I'm supposed to do a Crete deep dive on it.
Ooh,
so
I see it. Yeah, it's not looking the best. It's looking okay, but it's not looking the best.
So Warriors of Albion Crete ended up falling down 2-1 to Foo Fighters. So that Listen, they were winning that third game for 99% of it.
Why would you ever pick Cupid into Chalk, Pele, Morgan Le Fay? Like,
honestly, though, realistically, the Cupid really wasn't the issue this set. Like, honestly, the only thing, like, the reason they lost was because of a shot call at the very end of the game, or maybe like a call to contest another call, if that makes sense, right?
Damn.
Like someone says something, they're following it, then someone changes the call halfway through, and then they just lose. You know what I mean? So like, it feels really bad if you're WOA Crete, because like you were winning, like you won game 1 really, really confidently. You struggled a lot in game 2, but you adjusted. You were winning game 3, and then you just lost it.
Yeah.
So, but they were playing with a sub. They're playing with their sub support. And their starting support is very vocal in the comms, so I think that comms issue really wouldn't have been an issue if they did have their starting support. They probably just would have won the set 2-0, honestly. So like if you're that team, like you've lost 2 sets now, like you're 3-2, I believe is your record now.
Yeah, I think so.
And both your losses have been 2-1s, and you've had a sub both times. So like, you're not feeling awful, but now you're over here like, okay, like, you know, we probably shouldn't have dropped these sets. Like we need to, you know, evaluate some issues. Just before Ascension comes up. So you're not feeling too bad about like losing, but it sucks to lose the way that you did, I think, if you're Wars Albion Crete.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, I'm just looking for the standings right now. Is it rosters? No. Is it rosters? No, it's schedule, isn't it? It's schedule is where they are.
It should be schedule, yeah.
Yeah, so we can take a look at the schedule. We can look at the Crete standings. Wars of Albion currently in 4th position. I don't know if this is updated because it currently says they're 3-1. I don't know if that's
it's
accurate.
not updated then. They should be 3-2.
Okay, they should be 3-2. But like they will get an extra point because they got to win here anyways. So yeah, they are not in the worst position. They're still behind Food Fighters because Food Fighters was in 3rd place. Yeah. But like they're way ahead of like Lahungla and Going Ghost in terms of points.
Yeah, they're not in really any danger of like not making Ascension.
Yeah, for sure.
With their record, so like they're fine, but they do need to fix some of their core issues before Ascension comes up, because getting knocked out of Ascension would literally suck if you're on that roster, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Well, I guess next up is Delphi. Delphi. Oh, and we were wrong last week. They did have a win. They did. They were 1-4.
They had a win.
So they were not winless.
Win. So
yes. Well, they don't get another one this week. They do end up going down to Fallen Angels.
So they're 1-5.
Yes, they're 1-5 now.
Here it
their
is.
record. So, and the thing is, like, you're looking at these screenshots and you're like, well, like, it's not like anyone's inting, right? So like,
yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know what this is.
At some point, I'm gonna ask if they can, like, have someone spectate their game so I can do a deep dive of it.
Is Giggly Goose? Well, game 2, Solvis did int.
Giggly Goose is a sub, I believe.
Okay, so Sam Howell was not there.
Sam Howell was just not there. Yeah. So, but Giggly Goose didn't even do bad. Like 10, 5, and 9 on the Mon. You have 30k damage. Like, and then Night Cancer as your counterpart's doing 17k damage, and you're losing the game. You know, like.
Yeah,
like somewhere something like at that point it's not the sub's fault that you're losing that set, right?
Definitely not.
So
and then like game 2 only out damaged by 2k from Lance to Rav. Like I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, yeah, and then I think, you know, you have your support. Both supports are like, well, one support is 1-11-6, the other one's 1-4-21. One has a lot less deaths on their timer. One has a lot more assists, and one's just getting more active, it seems like, at least stats wise.
Why does Solvis have Absolution second to this comp? Oh, for Daji. Never mind. That makes some sense.
Okay, but are you Yimmer ulting?
It's Atlas. Game 1.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Atlas into Daji has Absolution. Yeah.
That makes plenty of sense.
That makes some sense.
Got it.
I wouldn't necessarily
That's fine.
do that, but yeah.
I mean, if you really need the Absolution, it makes sense. Like, Atlas isn't a bad Absolution user by any means, but the item's not like fantastic to.
So
you don't want to get it.
No, definitely. So Wars of Albion Delphi are currently in last place in their division. Yep. They are 1-3, or sorry, in this case now 1-4. Obviously, this isn't updated.
1-5 should be. I'm pretty sure.
Unless they just haven't played an extra set and they're missing one, maybe. But yeah, I think
maybe.
If this is
how many games then whatever.
Are we on week 6?
We're about to start week 6, I believe. Oh no, this is week 5, so they should be what, 1-4 then.
Yeah.
Record, right?
They are
Yes.
1-3. Yes.
1-4 is week 5.
4.
There we go. Thank you, Coach
Yeah.
Joy. Appreciate you.
I was like, I'm pretty
There we
sure. Yeah, we just did week 5, so they're 1-4.
A bunch of smart players try to count and we can't do it. That's crazy.
Never do math on cast. Never do math on cast. So they're 1-4.
Never do math on cast.
With
Yep,
2
1-4.
points. The only thing they can do, I'm actually curious who they play these next 2 weeks. So they have to at least get above Lahungla, who is in 6th place with 5 points. Whereas Albion have to take on Kitsune and Blood Wardens. Blood Wardens is at the top of the standings of their division, and Kitsune is actually the other bottom end team. Okay, so they can maybe
There's a shot.
There's a shot. They need to win next week for sure. And
They
then
need to 2-0 next week to get 3 points.
They do. They need to get the 3 points.
Yeah.
They would then pass Kitsune.
Yeah.
In the points, they would be at 5. They would technically tie with Lahungla if Lahungla get 2-0'd, and then
You're also
it would just
like,
be whatever happens
there's-
in week 7.
Exactly. Like at this point, you're hoping that the other teams that you're competing with for points also loses, like in a 2-0 fashion.
Lahungla play Kitsune in week 7, so there is a world. Oh, that would actually be super messy, actually, because there would be a 3-way fight for that one ascension spot, actually.
Holy moly!
So if Warriors of Albion can win next week, there will be a hot mess on week 7.
Well, next week is basically like their
Super Bowl
health of
Sunday is next week.
Yeah, basically, the health of their season's really depending on next week.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, on to Sparta.
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about Athens first and then do Sparta?
No, we can do our game.
Okay. Word.
I mean, yours is easy, so yours won't take long. Yeah. I know
True,
exactly
so
what
true.
happened. We played KWM. Lost 2-1. I mean, took a convincing game 1, I would say, in my opinion.
I would also say that for sure.
And then games 2, we had a game plan. We were following it to a T. We were on pace to do exactly what we needed to do to win the game. And then one person gets picked and we lose Fire Giant and we don't win a single team fight after. And the game just snowballs off of one pick. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, surely not. Surely we can just listen to the game plan.
Yep.
It was rough. It's at least we took a game. I mean, they're the top seed.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're getting the top seed.
And we need points. So like,
oh wait, Cupside says he's playing support tomorrow. Is this on Going Ghost Creek, Cupside?
So
if so, you should be a starter.
We're
Anyway,
currently, I believe, actually tied. No, we're 1 point behind Heart Showers in 4th place. I want to say, yeah.
Word. Cupside says yes. Good luck, my goat. Good luck.
Yeah,
So-
actually, there's a lot of implications here because Banshees got a point. They go up to 9 points. We go up to 7. Heart Showers go up to 8. So the gap between the top teams and the bottom teams just extend because Kitsune lost. Lahunga only got 1 point. So the gap just extends. So our point mattered a lot, actually. So we take those, actually.
Heck yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely could have been worse. You guys could have gone down 2-0 to a top team, and then that would have like basically set you behind on pace to get points, I think.
Yeah.
So, and like, you know, I think you guys, because I saw you guys were talking in your team chat, just kind of like about the game and like kind of talking about it. But,
I
like,
have been in many team players' DMs today, just like kind of chatting, see how people are feeling.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, I think that's pretty healthy though, because like, I mean, it shows that the team's like actually working to like try and fix those issues, and you guys are a very improvement oriented team. So, you know, a loss like this, I think, is something that's really constructive for you guys.
It's weird because we're very constructional and we are very focused on improving. It just seems to not happen, and I'm not really sure why. And I don't even know at some points. I feel like we're starting to figure out some of our issues.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't understand how we keep just getting beat by some of these teams. Yeah. Like, we had game 2 and we had game 3 at one point, and then just small mistakes both games, and we just get beat. I don't understand how we were so good in Golden Apple. I don't know if it was our meta was different or what, but we were just
It's
playing
true.
so well, and I don't know how just over time we've just started to just fall behind. I don't know. It just feels so bad.
Yeah. Can you read out the points of everyone in Sparta, like just like the standings in general for the listeners back home?
We'll come back to that, Doomed. We are going to do a deep overview of Sparta in a bit. We're just wrapping up the Words of Albion recap. And so yeah, I mean we didn't win, but we took a point and we're still looking to improve. And I think I don't know if second place is out of the cards. I think it depends on Banshees because they're second place with 8 points. And a 2-0 versus Skogs this week would be nice. And obviously as a win over in week 7, I don't even know who we play in week 7. I think it's Heart Showers. Okay, that'll be the week 7 rivalry. And that'll be important for standings in that.
Heck
okay.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean your matchup, I don't even remember who you played.
Played David's team.
Yeah,
you the Wailing Banshees.
Played the Wailing Banshees, and I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real, Hydra. It'd have been a long weekend for me, man. I came home, hopped on.
Yep.
I actually, after a day of going out and doing some karting for the first time, really some outdoor karting, was great. I beat my dad. I was faster on the track, you know. He was talking all this shit and like, oh, I'm gonna beat you, and I said, nah, fam. And then I got a faster time. I was 2 seconds quicker than the old man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, came home, opened twitch.tv/chaotic Hydra, saw the comp, saw the games, and was not impressed.
Yeah.
So Zenith in my chat says, I'm gonna be real, Warriors Albion did not have a great weekend. I literally across all divisions, everyone struggled, I think, this weekend, WOA. But we'll lock in on Athens really quick. So yeah, so we played the Wailing Banshees this last week. So first, let's talk about where we left off from last week. Was we played our set last week?
You won.
We won in a 2-1 fashion, which was wild. If you guys have not seen that set, go back and watch the set because it was actually insane to go watch. I think it's the most viewed Athens broadcast of the season, and also maybe compared to last season as well. So
that's pretty
cool. It's a fairly watched game. It almost has 1K views right now on just the OSL Twitch.
That's pretty cool.
So,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty dope. So, and it's actually really fun stuff to go back and watch. It's actually really cool. So go back and check that out. But going from that set, we go into the week, kind of between sets, and we try to schedule some scrims, and scrims end up falling through. With just some scheduling issues ended up happening, and everyone could make it. And scrimming with 2 to 3 subs isn't really productive. I think most people would agree on that kind of point. Especially if you want to be scrimming with certain people on that team, and they're the ones that can't make it. So unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
So we end up going into Sunday with no practice. Didn't really address any of the underlying issues I think that the team ended up really having. Last week, and we were playing with a different mid laner. So last week we played with Abdux.
Why was that intentional? Was that not intentional?
It was intentional. Abdux was a last minute sub in. He was supposed to be the mid sub, and then A Garrett was supposed to be starting. Was kind of the initial thought process. And then Abdux had a really good week last week, and then with no scrims to really see if we could scrim with Garrett, to see if we liked Garrett more or liked Abdux more, we ended up just saying, well, let's give Garrett a shot in this week because he's more proven. I think more people know of A Garrett. So people would let's just try out the guy that was initially supposed to be starting, and let's not wait for another week of scrims basically. So we end up putting Garrett in for mid. Garrett, admittedly, and he admitted after game 1 had a really rough set. I think he didn't find a lot of value on the new WOA pick that he played in game 1. Ended up dying a lot in the early game, and it ends up kind of snowballing the game in game 1. And the game just kind of got super out of control. And then in game 2, so I don't know, you guys back home may be able to also relate to this experience as well. But you guys know, after you guys just maybe lose a game and the comms are quiet. No one's mad, just the comms are quiet, no one's really saying anything. Everyone and even the things that you guys are saying isn't super okay, here's our mistake, let's try and win game 2. It's just what on earth was that? We just kind of got blown up, kind of thing. That's kind of the air around going into game 2. So picks and bans are kind of quiet. I don't think the game 2 draft was, in my opinion, very good at all. I think there were a lot of issues in draft, but I think the gameplay in game 2 was significantly better for the team. There's a clip that's going, Quiet Comms is the worst, yeah. But I think going into game 2, I think Valve had a pick that he really liked. I think Swag had a pick that he really liked. I had a pick that I really, really liked. And I think our mid lane was a lot more comfortable. Yeah, game 2.
Look,
so.
I'm gonna be real. I was watching the draft. And I said after game 1, it can't get much worse.
We got drafted.
And then I watched you first pick Freya. After you and I spent an entire episode on the podcast talking about how Freya was dead. Freya's not good. Don't ever pick that god right now because her damage is so conditional that she's not good. Yeah. And
well, here's the thing, right? So before this set even started, Quona and MR says like, hey, I just don't know if I really want to pick Freya in a draft league because I don't know if we are all on the same page of how we really want to play with this pick in the comp. And everyone agreed. Like, that's why I didn't get picked in game 1. And then in game 2, we picked it. So
I don't know why. This team, this Warriors of Albion Athens team struggles so much with having a game plan, sticking to the game plan. And I just don't understand. And like their meta for drafting is just so bad. Like, I don't get it, man. I think they are lost in the sauce a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think this week was definitely like just a really like struggling week for the team. Yeah. Especially where like we had a different mid laner and like I think and no one was really used to playing with him, and so he ends up individually struggling, and then that opens up the map. And then I think like if you look at like the match reports that you would say like on that roster, a lot of the star players on the roster didn't have a great performance. Like players that you would consider to be the star players on the roster didn't have a great performance that week, which like that just happens, sometimes you just have a bad showing. So I'm interested to see where like the team's direction of like kind of how like how we like adjust, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure like in this upcoming week, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of like changes and stuff that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, trade deadline is right around the corner. I believe it's this upcoming week. If I'm like literally this week, I'm trying to pull up.
Yeah, I know some people were talking about it, like, so if you've already played your week 6 game, like your trade deadline is your week 6 game. So no matter when you play it, so if you moved it up to like today, theoretically, today would be your trade deadline. So you just can't trade after your week 6 game.
Technically, the trade deadline is in 3 days from now. So on the 8th of August. Yep. Which is coming up fast. I wouldn't be surprised to see some wild trades from these bottom end teams. Maybe not so much in Sparta. I think Sparta's pretty locked. I know I got some messages today being like, I got some messages today and yesterday from players and captains being like, I want to start on a team. Captains being like, I want this player. I'll give you these players. Plural. Yep. Plural. And I just had to say I'm not interested because I'm not looking to make changes. For sure. You're trading expert. Honestly, go for it, man. The only person you should be trading fish is yourself because you still haven't actually fixed the screenshots. Like you need a new captain, bro. You're missing game 3. You got to go back and fix that. Well, otherwise, I'm going to post the whole goddamn thing because it's incredibly annoying.
Yep. That's actually so
it's
funny.
Still not fixed. Like you, god damn it.
But yeah, I know like a lot of divisions are actually just making a ton of trades. I know like Crete has some trades coming up this week. I know there's a lot of people either on the block or like actively talking about getting traded and stuff. What happened in Crete, bro? Just wait, because I can see chats you can't see. You know what I mean? So like I don't want to say something. So but yeah. So just wait. Not specifically the words of Albion, by the way. Let me clarify. Just Crete as a division. But there's going to be a couple of trades, at least in my opinion. And for sure, I think there should be a lot of trades. I think these bottom end teams that have been struggling to make something work, like what can you lose at this point? You might as well just, put a bunch of. I saw a funny suggestion in Crete. I think Sarkashion was one suggested it was that you put a bunch of your bench players into a random wheel generator and you spin it and see who gets them. So
that would be fun.
And if you're not playing the players, then why not, man?
Exactly.
Make a legendary trade like that. So I think
yeah. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of trades that happen. Let's talk.
Exactly. A lot of trades are probably gonna happen.
Let's talk Sparta recap for this week. Matches that happened. Food Fighters got 2-0'd, no surprise there. They pick up Proflux. It doesn't seem to make a difference.
Nah, it did not.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think the team got actively worse with the Proflux trade? Like, who did they even trade for Proflux?
American Tangents.
Do you think Tangents was just better than Proflux?
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah.
Tangents didn't want to play on that team. So
Which is fair.
yeah,
Like,
so I would argue
yeah.
I would argue the team got better in the sense that they're playing with players that they want to play with, but no, the team is incredibly cooked and they are not going to win. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're in dire straits for sure.
Yeah.
And then so Bards actually take I don't want to say it's a surprise win, but I mean Bards 2-1 Kitsune despite Jay Swervy being there, and I'm kind of like, whoa, man, like how did that happen? Like that's pretty cool and that's pretty impressive. So definitely some important changes happening. Bud moving on over to jungle and Doom Sauce playing in solo. So the team is definitely making improvements in the right direction. I also think Kitsune are definitely a little lost in the sauce themselves. They clearly don't have a strong identity to work around.
True. Can I also bring up the fact that Doom Sauce went 15-2-6?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that god is very good.
It's Amaterasu. I think she's very good, but 15-2.
So this is my
Amaterasu.
Well, first of all, Doom Sauce is playing into Liz. Second of all,
real.
Second of all, I think Ama's one of those characters that will punish teams that don't really know what they're supposed to do against Amaterasu, and I think Doom did exactly that.
But also, just to also clarify, the Amaterasu is playing into a Sun Wukong matchup.
Yeah.
That character is safe.
Liz is a Kukulkan one trick, in my opinion. Maybe not Kukulkan one trick, but definitely that style.
Please confirm. Did you guys ban Kukulkan from Liz Dexy? Before the game started.
Let's see.
For the Amaterasu, I must know. I have to know.
Okay. Who lost?
I see you pick Kukulkan away from Liz Dexy.
Bud lost this game. Like the Bards lost this game against Liz Dexia Cleo game 2.
Yeah. I don't remember bands TBH, that's valid. 15-2 into Sun Wukong is ridiculous. It is, but specifically as if you're Ama. Like that, like I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Trying to see who entered this game. Honestly, it's probably Jay Swervy and Bankable. Bankable went 3-9. Jay Swervy went 8-10. So
yeah.
And then Nelly went 4-7. So the carries were not having a fun game.
But Jay Swervy is playing Thor into a Ganesha Morgan Le Fay Hachi, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to get in there, and he's doing the damage. You know, he is getting in there. But if you're in there, I don't think you're making it out of there a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't put a ton of blame. But, like, Yu Huang being 3-9-9, I don't think that's probably not okay.
No, probably not.
Like, and Nelly 4-7-8, these are both Sky characters. You're so safe. So...
Heart Showers take on Skogs. Heart Showers 2-1 the Skogs. I mean, Skogs continuing to struggle. I think they're still winless despite getting 2-1s. Let's check here.
It's almost as bad.
They have that's not true. They have 1 win right now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they are 1-4. They got
struggling, but
they're going to be at 4 points because of that situation. Yeah, and Bards actually move up to 6 points, so they're actually in a much better spot. They're actually they're actually 6 points, so they're only a point behind us. So they're in a better position now for sure. I do think they have tough matchups this next coming week though. Like this week 6, I 100% agree. They take on Heart Showers and then they take on Banshees. So they're gonna have to try and find wins against good teams for sure.
No, for sure. I'm just laughing. If anyone's seen my camera, they see me laughing silently. It's because I'm reading my chat, and I just see Cupside cooking his team.
Damn.
He's cooking their draft plan, dude, and I'm like, wow, that's I mean, to be fair, so a little bit of context. His team did draft 4 jumps into a Willix, so I don't know what they were cooking, but you know, he wasn't playing that day. He was on the bench watching it all burn down in flames. But yeah, you know, it was what it was.
Heart Showers, yeah, they 2-1 the Skogs. I mean, Creekcraft. I hate these builds. I feel like I don't know. Like if I build these builds, I don't get away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you lose. You know what I mean? Like, if you build that, I think you lose.
I lose these games if I ever build that. So I mean, I don't know, man. Yep. Like teach their own. St. Thomas was pulling out the Apollo and the Cupid. Bro wants to be me so bad, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Creekcraft just played Chernobog, I think 2 games, and then a Rama. So I don't know. But yeah, if I build these builds, I never get to play the game. So I don't know, man. Then there's our set. We are talking about that. And then Crew 2-1 Fallen Angels. But it was a 2-1. It was pretty close. Gatto, I think, played well all 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, decently well.
Yeah. He played like okay, like didn't have like a insane performance I think in really any game, but he was consistently okay, and that's really what you need. He locks in Pele for the last game, ends up losing. Hey, listen, just one patch too soon, man. One patch too soon. I mean, I do like the trajectory that both teams are on right now. I think the Crew is steadily improving. I think a lot of people were doubting them last week. I think they maybe got a Mickey win against Ghost, which is like it's whatever, right? But like they are actively getting better.
Adora redeems himself from the scrims against us and goes 9-2 on Achilles in game number 3 and puts on a carry performance alongside the Super Carry Project Drezzy in game 3.
Yeah, Drezzy had a plan. Drezzy
had a plan all along. Lahungla, probably the upset of the week, I would say, would be and them defeating Wailing Banshees. Death Guy has a great set. It's Tova in for Cornicle this week. Over on Lahungla. It was close. Obviously, game 2 going the way of Banshees, but game number 3, I mean, this draft is cooking from Banshees, man. They did have a Delphi call up in support.
For Tort, right? No,
for Roman. If it was Tort, I don't think this would have gone to 3 games. Tort played Odin jungle though, and has a full tank build, which I don't fully understand the thought process behind. And then TT12 has a full power build on Chernobog, which is what he ran against me. But TT12 has consistently said, I just do what my team tells me to do. I build what they tell me to do. And in my mind, I'm saying, this guy doesn't have to think and play the game. This guy doesn't have to form his own opinions. He just does what he's told. Like, this is such a weak thing where someone can say, like, look at me, I'm so good. Look at this build. It cooks. I came up with it. And then when they're told what to do and they can just fall back on this argument of, I'm just doing what I'm told. I didn't play bad at all. And I'm just like,
yeah, exactly.
This is such a, like, I don't know. TT12 is such a jerk, I think, in Sparta. Bro is such a prick and needs to just, like, be real, man. Like, he keeps saying, he all I see is excuses when they don't win. And I'm like, well, why didn't you build Kins into Cthulhu, man? He's like, that's not the game plan. The game plan was to dive backline. I'm like, well, maybe you should form your own opinion then. I don't know. I just hate when people are like, but I'm just following the call. I'm doing what my team tells me exactly what to do.
If their game plan was to dive backline, then maybe you don't draft Baba Yaga Odin jungle.
Yeah.
You know, just
I agree.
Maybe that's not your angle. You know?
I agree.
So also, just to point out, this Baba Yaga built Prophetic. That has murdered her damage. GG. So
this is what Hunter kind of did last week, but he built in a Shifters as well.
Shifters is better.
Us.
Like, just go. Don't build Prophetic. Just build Shifters. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
Shifters gives you power.
Yeah,
more procs.
Let me see the build here. It was Warlocks, Rod, Shifters, Soul Reaver, and Deso. Now, granted, that was the game where they were in a 4v5 against us, and we never got to play it out. But
I don't know, like the fact that this build has Obshard Soul Reaver and it doesn't have E-Staff Shifter Shield in there instead, man, like, unlucky.
Yeah, especially against a pretty healthy comp on the other side, like Starry's playing
Cthulhu with that build.
Yeah,
like you as Baba Yaga can hit 4k HP with a build like that against Cthulhu. Like, you're feeling really good with a build like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
and then you don't need as much. You don't need Kins because you're taking his health away, so the Kins wouldn't proc. It would have been a much better game plan, but it's whatever. It's fine. I wasn't doing their job, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Blood Wardens 2-0 Fagard. I mean, Tactical drops a nuke game 1. Game 2,
19-6-12.
Poncho's out. RBB plays jungle. Scepter comes into sub support. It was a pretty back and forth game. Surprisingly, I watched this one on my stream, and it was kind of pretty close at times. And then one late game mistake, and Blood Wardens just took over and ran it down mid, and the game was over.
Yeah, I think that's actually very, very true. Game 2, I think, was a lot more dominant. It went the distance though. Like, it wasn't like a quick game or anything by any means.
Skull went 10-1-16. Tactical went 10-3-7. But even then, the game was close. 10-4-21.
Yeah, like I think that speaks volumes to Fagard. I
Yeah.
think in that second game for them to damage control a situation like that, like you are dying a lot, but you're not giving them a ton for it. You know what I mean? I think that's actually really, really good. So shout out to Fagard, Sparta. You guys do fall down 0-2 this week, but it doesn't mean that you didn't blow up your roster or anything like that. You guys did fine.
Well, I
so.
think they probably do because they're currently sitting at 3 points. They're actually quite close behind Bloodwarden. Bloodwarden 2-0ing does set them to 7 points.
Yep.
Which is a marginal gap now between Bloodwardens and Fagard. 7 points versus the 3 points. So you got to start finding these wins soon if you're Fagard. And so far,
I
they've
think
shown
it's
they
just
can't.
a situation like maybe you just need to practice more as a team and like come up with the strategy that works for you.
I guess,
More so
yeah.
than making changes on your roster. Because the fact that game was even close and you're getting slaughtered that much, I think is impressive.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, I would see if you can get Boots and Cats in for Slick and maybe make a change in the ADC role potentially.
Bloodwarden is 8.
Slick is not the most impressive ADC. Had a good game too. Wasn't impressed with game 1's performance. I mean, 1 and 9 on X-Ball, just not it. Try and get Boots and Cats, honestly. He's on the trade block. No spoiler but everyone I think knows that now with the Sparta chat discussions that happened today, which was interesting.
Oh, was it openly discussed that he was on the block?
Twinkle Toes 12 actively said to Boots and Cats that he is he's ass and he would be better at he's better at the role than him and it's his off role. So
Holy
that
shit.
was interesting.
Okay.
And they're on the same team, so that was
Holy
pretty
shit, bro.
it was pretty like Blowworms at 8
Another one
points.
of those
Thank you, dog.
moments.
Yeah, it really was
Yeah.
one of those moments for sure. Yeah, it was pretty spooky. I mean, yeah, and there are some sets that have not been played yet. I'm just trying to remember which ones. Going Ghost and RJ haven't played yet.
Right.
Which is an important set because that's going to determine who's at the top of the standings.
It's gonna determine a lot of standing stuff for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Yep. And I think that's all the sets. Let's wrap up the show with predictions for the week.
Yeah. We'll do Sparta Predictions. Sparta Predictions.
Sparta Predictions.
Sparta Predictions.
All right, let me find the right.
Yep.
Boom, I think.
Oh, snooze
Is
the
it
ad
not
that we have
actually
going.
showing? Qual? Where is
Cool. It is not showing.
it? Where is our...
Small tech issues. Podcastings.
Okay, hang on one second.
No problem.
If Chad, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them right now while I try to sort this out. I don't know where our...
I love prediction because I didn't see who we're playing. That's so real, dude. So, to talk about the Zenith fraud allegations after I dropped 7k damage in game 1 of our set. You're an ADC, so your role's useless, so it doesn't matter what you do. Especially in creep. So,
there we go.
But what's your structure damage stat?
There we go.
Let's get it. So,
Oh wait, this is the standings. We can actually look at the standings real quick.
I think
we
standings are
can't.
cool.
We can't because they're not even updated yet.
they're not updated.
They're not updated, so they don't make any
Curses.
sense. Okay,
Curses.
man, someone should really get on
Yeah.
that, man. Remember when?
No, I'm telling you, man.
Remember when they? I don't know if you knew this. Maybe you do because now you have access to all the channels.
Yeah.
Where they told us to post the match ID so it'd be easier for the stats people, and then the stats people just continued to not do stats.
Yep. Oops.
Yeah.
All stats, I guess.
Yeah,
That's right.
there's no stats being updated. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like,
10K
well,
structure
what's the
damage?
point of
Good
you
shot.
asking us to do this?
True.
Okay, starting from the top.
Yep.
Bloodwardens
So-
versus
yep.
Food Fighters. This should be
Yeah.
Bloodwardens. This should be an easy 2-0, I think, for Bloodwardens. Food Fighters.
think so?
Food Fighters are a hot mess. They're lost in the sauce and not any food sauce. So they're lost cause. It's over. It's so Jover, man.
Let's see. Steve just had a kid. That's why stats haven't been updated. True. But I'm pretty sure he did put someone else in charge after he took his leave of absence to go on to parenthood. But no, I fully agree. I think Bloodwardens are looking. They're on the up. I think they're on the up right now. They're riding a pretty.
Disagree, but
Really, you think so?
Disagree,
I think they're riding a
continue.
pretty good momentum wave.
Yes.
I don't think they're like a
Yes.
top team or anything, but I do
Correct.
think they're riding a momentum wave for sure.
Correct.
Yeah, and I do think Food Fighters have been actively struggling, and against a team that's struggling, and against Bloodwardens, that's a team that's gonna ego you, And then if they ego you and it works, then you're gonna feel really bad going into game 2. I think they're just gonna win. So yeah, 2-0 Blood Wardens. I'll make that my predictions.
Okay. Big Scary Dargans take on Going Ghost. Should be a close one. It kind of sucks because we obviously don't have the RJ Going Ghost results. But I feel like any games afterwards, the way that set goes are really important for both teams. And this is kind of where the two teams that they are both facing that can kind of take games off of them. And this is a chance for Big Scary Dargans and the crew to really get involved in that top conversation mix.
Right.
And play spoiler, honestly. Because if RJ or Going Ghost lose this week against each other and then have to play against one of these teams and they lose to one of the, if somebody won the week before, but then they lose the next week, they could lose out on points, and that could be huge implications on who's first, who's second. Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, looking at both rosters, it's hard for me to vote against Going Ghost, right?
Yeah.
But they have been struggling recently.
A little bit, yeah. I think Kern is not playing how you would like Kern to be playing. I feel like he's kind of struggled quite a bit.
Yeah, I said maybe that's it. I have no idea. And Ninja XK has been playing pretty decently in comparison to his roster. So if you base off scrims, oh yeah, we do have Jolie in the chat to give some insight. So
we just want to test everything in scrims. I'm not even just talking about scrims, man.
Oh, I don't see your scrims at all or anything like that. But like at least like game day, it just seems like you guys maybe like struggle to like close out games. I think you guys should just cleanly win. You know what I mean?
Like I watch Mini make numerous mistakes on his stream where he doesn't use relics, and that costs you at least another 10 minutes of play. Like you guys are a very exploitable team, I think. Yeah. Even on game day, not even just scrims. Like on game day, you are a very exploitable team.
But I will say, again, like I said before, it's really hard for me to vote against a Going Ghost roster.
Agreed.
Like this. So I'm just going to say Going Ghost 2-1 Big Scary Dargans.
Oh, you're going to say 2-1 Big Scary Dargans.
Oh, no. I think Going Ghost win, but it's going to be 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Like, and I think it could, like, it's going to be a kind of back and forth thing. It depends on how good Dargans show up this week. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely a real world, like especially where patches about it tomorrow, meta shift could go kind of crazy, Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I think we all have those games. Not a single team's playing super clean. I completely agree. I completely agree.
I think
so.
Maybe RJ is the only team.
I mean, we did say this going into the season that like I think Sparta is really competitive this season. There's not like a single top team's blowing everyone out of the water. Teams can take teams like games can get taken off of teams like every week. So I think it's pretty healthy, but yeah, I do think I'm going to favor the Going Ghost roster this week for sure. Just because like I know Jolly, I know Mini, I know Kern. Saw Kern play in AGL last night, 2 minutes ago maybe. Casted that game, and I think he still looks really good. So
I think Going Ghost is the safe bet for sure. I'll also say 2-1 Going Ghost.
Yeah, but if Dargans win, I'm not upset by it.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be like quote unquote. Well, surprised is the word I'll use, but like
exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be pleasantly surprised if they do.
Yeah, exactly. RJ take on the crew. The crew coming off an important win up against Fallen Angels. I think RJ is the best team in the league right now in terms of Sparta. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to go the way of RJ. I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-0. I think crew is on the up. I just don't think they can contend just yet with RJ. Yeah,
I think I like the direction that the crew's going in. I think when Drezzy's plan does come to fruition, this team looks really, really good.
True. Drezzy's... dude, I would love if the crew win the whole thing. Yeah. And then Drezzy...
It was all part of Drezzy's plan.
It was all part of Drezzy's plan, man.
Yeah. However, again, like you said, Royal Justice are probably the best team in their division. So, are any of these Sparta teams beating an Athens team? Oh, listen...
Wait, what's that?
I think are any of the Sparta division teams being an Athens team? I'll talk about that after we get through predictions. I think it's a really cool talking point. That's a great question.
The answer is yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
We'll come back
by the way.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
We have a Q&A session. We can ask
literally
that
right after the prediction section. But that's the first question we're talking about for sure.
RJ versus crew.
But I do think they're cruising the up, and I'm very pleasantly surprised with how they've been like improving, but Royal Justice are probably just the best team in their division right now.
I'm gonna say it's 2-0 though.
I'm gonna say it's 2-1.
Okay.
In favor of Jesters still. I think the crew has a chance to get a game off them for sure. I do think Jesters ultimately do end up winning this set though, and that's not even downplaying the crew. I think they're doing really, really good. I think they're improving actively. So
they're just not there yet.
Yeah, I think they just need another week. If they had another tough opponent right before Jesters, I think those are actually a real world they end up winning. So.
Yeah, probably. Potentially.
Because then they go in with the momentum.
We don't have
high,
Trey.
but-
It's a 2-0.
Oh, we don't have Trey? Yeah, it's sorry, 2-0 Jesters then. Sorry. Yeah. Wait, actually, who's subbing for Trey? Who's subbing ADC for Trey? That's kind of really my opinion.
Fallen Angels versus Fagard. This should be Fallen Angels, I think. 2-0.
Let's see. With Jersey said we have a trade going to. Oh,
it's gonna be tangents.
Interesting.
It's gonna be tangents. Tangents was in everyone's DMs the other night asking for a trade. We'll play
I'm trading
any
the
role.
mini. Ooh, okay. That's OP. Let's see. Fallen Angels and Fagard. Fallen Angels again. That's the Gato Griff roster.
Yeah, that should be Fallen
really-
Angels. I think 2-0.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, like yeah, just Fallen Angels 2-0. I think that's all I'm gonna say.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think they're just on a decent upward trend, but I don't think they're gonna get there in time just yet. KWM are taking on La Jungla. This is a tough one because La Jungla getting a 2-1 victory. It is against Kitsune, which is a team that is kind of struggling a little bit, right? Wait, was it against Kitsune? No, it was against Blood Banshees. Sorry. And so that is a team that's quite good. Banshees, I think, making a few meta mistakes here and there, and I think playing too much into their tried and true, we have to pick these characters. And I think La Jungla just had a better job of dealing with those characters. They also weren't playing in a 4v5, so.
True.
I'm going to give it to KWM 2-1.
Right. I think I'm going to go with the same voting. KWM 2-1, you know.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if KWM ends up 2-0 in La Jungla here.
That's fair. I think La Jungla might be in... I'm worried that La Jungla is buying too much into their momentum and are like, we just beat Banshees. Let's go. We're super sick right now. And then they think they're unbeatable, and then they just get immediately trounced by KW. Like, there is a world that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Banshees versus Kitsune. Give me Banshees all day, every day, man.
Give me Banshees, bro.
Banshees.
2-0. Give me Banshees 2-0. Even if Jay Swerve is playing, Banshees 2-0.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Kitsune ain't too much of a struggling roster, I think. Bards versus Heart Showers. Give me the Heart Showers, man. They're pretty good, man. They are a good
honestly,
team.
Bards have been struggling a lot to, find their identity. They have some role swaps going on lately. But Heart Showers, man, they're friends.
I told you at the start of this season, man, when we were doing team predictions, I said this is going to be a team that just takes win off good teams through the power of friendship. They're just playing ranked better than you right now.
I'm gonna walk them like the dogs they are. And listen, dude. Listen, man. No shade to you, man. But Heart Showers, man. They probably they're probably having a nice luncheon right now, talking about what their draft strategy is gonna be and why they're all gonna pick Mayan gods or something and still gonna win, dude. Like they're vibing.
Damn.
Like
they are vibing. They are having a good time.
Yeah, they're vibing. Yeah, I do think it's probably gonna be a 2-1 though. Heart Showers.
Yeah. Skogs versus the Warriors of Albion. On the new patch, Jingwei's getting buffed. SB Stonks on the rise, man.
True.
Give me 2-0, the Warriors of Albion. It's going to be a Thursday matchup, too. So we're not even playing on Sunday because Sunday is going to be my birthday.
True, yeah. Not playing on that day. No shot. No
carding
way.
with the besties.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Craft and Forerunner went out for lunch before their set on Sunday. That's actually so funny,
That's
man.
pretty funny.
Wait, teammates can be friends? Ask Royal Jester's Creed about that, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think I think Warriors of Albion probably end up winning this set. I think how struggling are the Skogs?
Well, they had their full roster and they still couldn't get a win.
Yeah.
They did take a win, if I'm not mistaken. A game win.
I do think they probably just lose to you guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Especially if you guys have your full roster there, all barring no one's PC explodes and you know another hurricane doesn't hit Texas or something, like you guys will probably just win. I think 2-0 here. I would
be surprised if it's a 2-1. I mean, we
If
saw.
it's a 2-1, it means you guys threw that game.
Well,
like straight up.
I would say if it's a 2-1, it's because what's his name? Bacon had like a carry performance and just like cooked. But from my experience of playing, like watching Bacon play, he does it for one game and then he can't do it for another. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to try and survive the Bacon onslaught for a game.
Yeah, not like his Athens counterpart, SPL player Gabe Ethan,
True.
who single-handedly won his team an entire set this Sunday. So
True. Damn
10K down, quadra kill, insane.
But that is that's it. That's it for predictions.
Yep. Now it's the Q&A section. Let's get to that first question. That
Blood Warden's on top. Not in Athens.
You think so? Thought.
Not in Athens.
That's true.
Yeah, this is the Q&A session. Oh man, I was supposed to make a graphic for this week.
Next week.
If I have time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Guys, this is the Q&A period. We give you guys 10 minutes to ask your questions. It could be revolving smite. Literally whatever. Just ask us your questions. Timer is set now. But we did have a question
the first
earlier.
Thing we're gonna talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. Are any of these Sparta Division teams beating an Athens team?
Yes.
First, let's talk about what rosters in Sparta we think could take it to an Athens team. Like.
Yeah.
Which ones are we thinking? I'll let you go first because
you're for the Sparta
Sparta
teams.
Yeah.
Going Ghost, RJ, KWM, and I think that's it.
Okay.
That's my opinion. And then which Athens teams I think they could beat.
Yep. On
a good day, Wars of Albion. Because any Athens team that isn't just like that isn't properly structured, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think for sure.
So like I think probably I'm trying to look. Let me look at the standings real quick of Athens. Because I think I know. Like any team that's not like properly structured, so like Wars of Albion, probably Lahungla, maybe RJ. Yeah.
I do think Doc's in chat and he has a different take. He says that he doesn't think any of them. He said even crew beats on all of them. The skill diff alone. I genuinely don't think that that's true, and it's not like wait, what's the one there from the teams is not getting spanked by Valve 180C. Brody, let's be real, true. So here's my thing though, right? I do think
Kona ADC, he played Freya and just got dog walked. Like
well, ADC, the thing is I do think that first of all, to give WOA their credit, I do think that 9 times out of 10, Kona's gonna dog walk most Sparta ADCs. Yeah. Like if you give him Charybdis and just let him do what he did in game 3 on against the crew, he's gonna 1v3 and 1v2 a lot. So I said I generally think the only Athens team that really might lose to a let's say it's a best of 5 set, right? Do I think a Sparta team would win that best of 5? Actually, scratch that. Best of 3 set, right? So best of 3 set, the Sparta team wins. I think the only team like that in Athens right now is probably the crew. Genuinely.
Not even Lahungla, who's 0-4.
Not even Lahungla. Genuinely.
Damn, that's crazy.
Honestly. So it's literally just it's just because I think Pilot would play an off meta jungler, and then you need a Sparta team with insane amounts of cohesion that would punish that, right?
Yeah.
And then he'd go to a jungler, but his jungle god pool's kind of limited. Their duo lane isn't weaker. There's just a weaker duo lane. So if you have a strong duo lane, and some of the higher up Sparta teams do have a really strong duo lane, you'd punish them playing like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's the other way around. It has to be a team that isn't star power but might play well together. And that's exactly what I'm thinking. So talking about a Sparta roster, I think could actually accomplish that. I would say Going Ghost Sparta with Jolliver, Mini, Kernoin. Kernoin played in Athens for a week and played against Swaga and did very, very good that week. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He played with his Athens roster. He played against a full Athens roster against WOA, and he had a really, really good performance individually that set. So I think if you give him a team that he's even more comfortable on, and put him against a more struggling team than the Wars of Albion Athens, I do think that there's a world where if they played 10 best of 3s, there's a non-zero chance they win more than half of them. You know what I mean? It is literally a skill diff because each Sparta team realistically only has a few great ballers, so a team like Going Ghosts could take crew. Yeah, exactly, for sure. I do I think, and this isn't me dogging on the crew in Athens or anything like that, because I know we did play them last week, and we did beat them, but we struggled to beat them, but we did beat them.
I
do think that.
I don't
Well,
think
like-
this Hungla roster could be a top Sparta team. Like, I'm just looking at their screenshots. I just don't think so.
But the thing is, like, the screenshots are against other Athens teams, and I think
Right.
Athens this season's like very stacked.
And I
like,
agree.
straight up.
I agree. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I don't think. I think
But
there
really,
are
let's-
like Arijo was in Sparta last season. Arijo didn't even make playoffs. I'm pretty sure he got knocked out.
Yeah.
Like, I think.
Stockman did say, but I really don't think any other Sparta team can beat even crew, but Going Ghost would realistically be the team. That's what I think. Going Ghost actually has like the best shot, bro. Sneaky Gozen and Hado are leagues above that roster. I think Gozen and Sneaky, like, so some people meme on Sneaky, like, real talk. But like he's not bad or anything.
No,
you know
he's
what I mean?
not.
Like,
he's really good.
Yeah.
I don't.
The worst
But he's not.
performer
He's
on
also
that
not
roster-
playing every game, though. Is what I'm noticing.
Yeah.
He's not there.
That's
every
true.
week.
Like, yeah, I think like the worst performer on La Jungla is like Mando, and Mando's a mid laner.
Yeah.
So like if he plays Nuwa, it's fine. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, it's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like at least in my opinion, I think the only realistic argument would be Going Ghost Sparta versus the crew Athens, and
That's
which
fair.
one wins. And then I still think the crew Athens is actually fine. Like they just haven't found an identity that works for them. And I think that's really like mainly their issue. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
I just don't think the skill compares, man. But I get the Going Ghost argument. Yeah, like that's my only argument.
But it's,
like I think the only
it's so
roster
weird
that
because
has
there
shots
are
Going Ghost.
Sparta players who could like I could play in Athens. I think maybe not always on a top team, but it depends, right? Like
Yeah,
like when you and
there's
when,
several Sparta players that could play in like Jolliver. Like people have been saying Jolly could play in Athens for a minute, but he's a mid laner, so there's 1,000 mid laners. So
yeah,
like, he'll never
exactly.
get in Athens
There's just other like better like
You know.
players that like work together.
Yeah,
like you and I could play in Athens again. I'm pretty sure, and we'd be fine. It would depend on our team, but like it would be okay.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I don't know.
And every indie role matters when comparing. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
like and at the end of the day, we need to keep in mind that obviously OSL is a draft league. So like it's not like it's like if it's like preformed teams, it'd be a much different argument.
Oh, yeah.
Like let's say Athens was all preformed teams, and so was Sparta.
Oh, God.
Then I think every preformed Athens team would walk.
Yeah,
like
of
like
course.
absolutely
Of
walk.
course. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I do think that. Yeah, I do think that's actually very real. So going off on that, I think Going Ghost Sparta.
I
think have a shot
I
to
don't
take
think
it.
Mario can play in Athens just yet, and that is my opinion. I don't think he's ready. I think you need at least another season of Sparta. He needs another season of Sparta under his belt, in my opinion. I think
My only way to even like my devil's advocate argument for that is that in the meta we're in, where ADC is the least impactful it's been in a minute.
that is true. That is true.
And
He
the
can just
lack
do
of
his job, yeah.
But and the
but-
lack of actual ADCs, in Athens for sure. I do think that there's definitely a way that he could.
But I would argue relic usage is even more important right now, and Mario Bro is notoriously bad at properly using relics. That is
I can see
that
that.
is my take. I think in
We
Athens
did see
it's a
him
lot more
Ishtar
important.
dash in. We did see him Ishtar dash in and cost
That
his
was a
team a set, so-
misclick. That was a misclick.
It was.
But I agree.
But
It
misclicks
does
happen,
happen.
you
No,
know? Like,
exactly.
you can't be
yeah.
doing that.
You can't be
Yeah.
doing that. No, I agree.
And like he posted the clip himself. It's like a joke to him at this point. It's really funny for him. So it's not like we're shitting on him.
No,
Yeah.
it's just like I think Athens is just tougher, and I don't think Mario Bro's really good. Like he's good. He's improving, but like he's not. I don't even think. I know the question was asked earlier. He's not the best ADC Thok in Sparta. That is my opinion. He still
I do
has
think, like,
a
I
lot
think-
to learn, and it shows.
Yeah, I do think Mini is probably like making a good argument. But like I think like the top 5 ADCs are all interchangeable depending on like the week in the meta. Like I think you have like you, Mini, let's see. Yeah, you
My baby
Mini,
boy, you're gonna have to let that baby boy go soon, Thok, because you're teaching him some
True.
things that are, I think, crutching his play style a little bit. I think you gotta let if you want to see that man succeed, you gotta let him be free, man.
True.
You gotta let him go
Yeah.
into the world. Let him find his play style, man. Let him find his
true.
thing. Let him be free, man.
And Antonio did say, I'm a Hungla believer, but I think they're not a star power team. So by my previous argument, they might be beatable. I mean, I can see that for sure. And their duo, and Sandman Samuels in chat also saying that their duo is just hilariously weak.
Yes.
It is very, very true. Wait, who's the ADC for that team? Is it Arijo?
It is a
Or
region.
am I
And
wrong?
he played in Sparta last season and did okay. Like he was on a not good team, and he would have some good performances, but he wasn't like leagues above other. Like you could punish him as an ADC for like overstepping or whatever.
Mando played perfectly fine and does. See, I'll always tell people like Mando's like a role player mid laner, and that's not what stands out. You know, you need like a hyper carry star mid laner to be considered like a super standout mid laner, and Mando's just not that. And that's okay. Like that's fine. Like, and he does what he needs to do on his roster. You know what I mean?
No cap. What is going on with Albion Sparta? Not BM on paper roster is nice. I agree, on paper the roster is nice. I don't know, man. That's a great question. We're having a team meeting tonight to discuss things, and hopefully it yields results. I think there's just things that aren't clicking, and hopefully we can get them to start clicking in times for Ascension. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think same thing, because he did bring up the Athens team too. I think like a similar thing. Like you see the roster on paper, and you're like, they definitely should not have the record they have. You know what I mean? And I think Buddy talked about it in if you watch some of the sets, I think it's fine.
I have opinions of your Athens team, man, but my Sparta team's not clicking. Your Athens team has certain problem players on it that are notoriously bad problem players in draft leagues. So yeah, let's just say it's a big "I told you so," man.
Hey, I didn't draft it. So
that is true. That is true. That I told you so was not for you.
Yeah, exactly. So. But I was like, hey, I didn't draft it this time, so it's fine. But yeah, no, I mean, I think you know, I think some general like team meshing probably needs to happen. You know, both for the Athens and the Sparta team. I think, you know, there's maybe some people are just on some different pages on like what they want, like the style that they want to play, the kind of draft they want to prioritize and stuff like that. So
yeah, I do want to bring this up because I think it's hilarious that Evan the Gay Weeb was in Sparta the other day, talk about how good of a role ADC is right now because he's playing ADC, and he's talking about how good and how impactful the role is, and then Minnie just coldly says, "Aren't you 0-4?"
Oh no!
And everyone just kind of went, "Oh shit!"
Oh, that's so funny, dude.
It was so funny.
Oh,
it was so funny, and I just kind of went, "Damn." Damn, man.
Yeah.
They won one game. They won one set. Okay, so my apologies. They're 1-4.
Yeah, Swagger wants traded this fine. People keep picking him when they aren't even friends or talk to him ever. Yeah, I agree, Sam. I completely agree with that. Because I'm pretty sure everyone will agree that everyone will agree that Swag is a mechanically great player and he has good comp experience, you know, and he can obviously be a really good part of a team if he clicks with the team. And there's the parentheses, right? Like if he clicks with your team. So put him on a roster that he clicks with, but it's a draft league, so like, you know, obviously Swagga is heavily draft league nerfed, and we've known that for seasons. People have been saying that for seasons, that he just, you know, put him on a pre-made team and he's gonna do what he wants to do.
Can we say the changes already that happened for Athens?
No, it's not posted, so I'm not gonna talk about it.
Bruh, surely we can. It's our fucking show, man.
Nah, we can talk about next weekend transactions, you know? I'm pretty sure.
We didn't even talk about transactions this week, man. I mean, I think we just wait till transactions next weekend. Then we just have them all laid out because there's going to be no more.
Yeah. Sam, I would love to, but like, I don't want to like, you know,
say allegedly.
Like, I don't want to get like,
bro, it's not allegedly. We know what the trades are.
Yeah. We know what the trades are.
We
but
have
I don't
access to Athens. Like even I have access to Warriors of Albion Athens chats. Like I can see who's been traded, who's in there now.
Oh wait. It's been all over chat. It's already, but just not in transactions. Oh, word. Okay,
just
so yeah, sure. We can talk about it then. That's word. Yeah, we'll talk about it. So Swagga was traded to Fallen Angels in return for Koja Fox, my goat, and Juice Food. So 2-for-1 player trade.
Yeah, interesting.
Cool. Yeah. And you know, Sam said to say, I can confidently say that Alfie and Swagga will fry. The rest of the team is going to be interesting, but Valve had no business going for that. So I think. Are they even links that just taking forever to type it in? That's very true. So, but the only thing is that, you know, we're like a little sideshow, and so I don't want to be like quote unquote air quotes leaking. I don't want to give the admins to even have a reason to even say that we're doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, especially where I'm in a position where I can see chats than everyone else can see. So I'm like, let me just not even try and cause trouble.
I don't even care, man.
So, yeah, no, hey, valid, man.
Right.
So, but yeah, so to talk about the trade a little bit, I think. So it was openly talked about before, like Kamo left Mount Olympus, that Swagga was on the block from their like doubleheader week, and
Is
just
he
no one was
gone?
like taking the. Kamo left, or like he left like the OSL Discord. I don't know if he came back, but
Yeah, because I know he
I don't know.
left, and then
yeah, I don't know if he came
was,
back or anything.
Well, he was a benched player, wasn't he?
He was benched for Royal Justice, I believe.
Okay.
So, who's on Royal Justice again that's starting over him? Let me think. It was Drunk Diplomat mid that was starting over him.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, we would have given prod for Swagga. Valve didn't want to trade. Wait, really? I did not know that.
That's kind
Sam,
of
I did
crazy,
not know that.
man. You could have had
That's actually
prod,
insane.
man.
That's actually wild.
You could have had Sun Prod, man.
I would love that. But so basically with Swagga gone, well Swagga was on the block already, and with Swagga already gone, Swagga brings a large amount of identity, I think, to the team when it comes to like forming how the team plays. And he also has a lot of competitive veteranship, right? And Koja fills that, and Koja's a 6 support. So if you can pick up another jungler that maybe doesn't have like the same kind of I don't care, glad to be away from the Storm Alfie combo, valid, bro.
Damn, that's
So-
crazy.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. But you know, so you're losing that kind of veteranship with Swagga, and maybe you're not getting the same degree of it with Drusu, but you are getting a jungler. You can put Koja in support and see if that fills it. So depending on scrims, we don't know what the roster even looks like right now. It depends on scrims this week. So who knows? But you know, if like, and I told Valve because he was very transparent about it with me, and the decision makes sense to me. And so I was like, hey, like, there's no hard feelings, dude. Like, I don't care. So like, it's whatever. I'm not gonna mental boom on you. So, but I will say, Coach, I'm still actively going to be scrimming and competing for that starting support spot, my guy. So
Hell yeah. Just play better than Koja Fox, man. That guy sucks anyways.
yeah, like first of all, yeah, the better player will be the starter.
You've
and, like,
started.
that's all there is to
You
it.
started over him before, man. What can I say?
Hey, listen. Hey, wait. Actually, talk about it. Koja got traded to a team with me on it, and then we didn't win another game the rest of the season.
Is that
Koja?
true?
Wait. Yeah, like remember he got traded
Oh,
to Tanuki season
shit.
2, and then we never won again.
Shit.
Koja cursed the roster. Koja, you're not a curse, are you?
Koja did curse the roster. Hold on a minute.
Oh man, but no. In all seriousness, love Koja. Glad to have you on board, man. Really excited to talk to you again. Get to work with you, and then like watch like scrims and stuff, and see like stuff like that. Because obviously Koja has a lot that anyone can learn from. He played a Content Creator Cup on LAN, so huge. Love to see that. Go watch that back. But yeah, I will actively be competing.
I think that's it for us. I think we're
Yep.
we've gone past our allotted time, so to speak. Guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast. It's always a blast. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to watch back a VOD, want to go back and watch a certain part of the stream you missed, you can always go back and you can go watch it on youtube.com/spiritedbook, where I post all the VODs for the Greenroom podcast. Yeah, support us, support me and Hydra. You can follow us and obviously subscribe to us. We both are
true.
affiliates. It helps out our channels. It helps us do this every week. It's a big help for sure. Help support the YouTube channel as well, because we'll probably be continuing a version of this podcast beyond OSL and whatnot. As things go on, whether we continue with Smite or other games, we'll probably continue on with just things in general. But yeah, I mean, this has been us on the Green Room podcast. Any final thoughts, Hydra?
Yeah, honestly, no major thoughts. Just stay tuned. I think next week we're going to do some interesting stuff next week. I'll talk to SP. I'll talk to you about that after the podcast ends.
Oh, okay.
But if you guys want to just tune in next week, again, a lot of impactful sets happening across OSL, across Sparta, and across Athens. Tune into my channel individually for some OSL deep dives for a lot of sets. I'll be doing a lot of the Athens deep dives because they were spectated. I'll be doing Sparta and maybe one Delphi, and I think maybe 2 Cretes this week.
Doing Sparta?
And there's a lot to learn.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so a lot to learn. People have been requesting like more of that content, so I'm going to be trying to do
God
that.
damn.
Yep.
Okay.
So if it was spectated, I can do it. So
I probably
but yeah,
wasn't, but who knows?
If it wasn't unlucky, then I won't do it this week. But heck yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, teach me Smite Hydra. I would love to.
All right. We
I
are
must
gonna
relearn.
we are gonna throw it on over to the Albion Giants League, which is streaming a set right now. So
we'll go
take
right
care,
Albion Giants
guys.
League.
We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, and good luck in your sets as well. Stay tuned for my set on Thursday. I'll be streaming it, of course, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.